Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm FARAZUANA, the Speaker of Politician who has served as 11th Speaker of the Selangor State Legislative Assembly since June 2018 and member of the Selangor State Legislative Assembly MLA for Sekintan since March 2004, a member of the Democratic Action Party DAP, a component party of the Pakatan Harapan PH state-relying but federal opposition coalition. I was served as the Assistant National Organizing Secretary of DAP since March 2022. Next, let me tell you about our government branch, which is a State Legislative Assembly. The State Legislative Assembly consists of the governor as head of the state, the Speaker of the House, and the Legislative Assembly. The Assembly comprises of 28 elected members in accordance with the provisions of the Federal Constitution. The legislative branch of the state government in each of the 13 Malaysian states. Member of State Legislative Assembly comprises elected representative from single-member constituencies during state elections through the first past the post system. The assemblies have power to enact state laws as provided by the Constitution of Malaysia. What is my role as Speaker? The Speaker represents Parliament institution on the international scene and oversees its interparliamentary relations. The key feature of the role of Speaker is impartiality, be non-partisan in any of my actions, also to be responsible for maintaining order in the House and to ensure that relevancy is observed during debates, and also the Speaker loudly need to defend Parliament. Now I will be talking about the challenges I face in performing my duties. The first one is I need to know on how to manage my time, as because I need to be on the appointment on time, get to my committee meetings on time. It's the little thing that trip me up like deadlines. The second one is to keep up my words. Honesty is the best policy in life and in legislature. A legislator effectiveness and reputation are only as good as his or her words. If I promise someone my vote, then I need to deliver it. If I got a new ideas that make me change my mind, then I also need to tell people about what I think. The advantages of being member of legislature for me is help in terms of self-development. The most obvious aspect of this is self-confidence. I managed to learn how to cope in a demanding environment. The more I do so successfully, the more confident I become. Second, there is the development on particular skills. Foremost among these are time management, communication, and problem-solving skills. MPs are extraordinarily busy, having to cope with the demands of constituents, parliamentary business, and lobbying by external organizations. Demands on an MP are not only heavy, but are also prone to sudden changes. MPs themselves are not always the most organized people. They are not trained in management.
Assalamualaikum and selamat sejahtera. My name is Farah Nabilah and I am one of the executive member, Prime Minister. The reason why I was standing here is to explain a little bit about myself and also aspects of my job. For those who do not know, I was born on 18 January 1960 and I am from Temerloh, Pahang. In accordance with Article 42A and Article 43(2)A of the Federal Constitution, Yang di-Pertuan Agong selected me as Malaysia's 9th Prime Minister after establishing that I had the trust of majority in Parliament with 114 out of 220 members of the Dewan Rakyat supporting me. On August 21, 2021, I was sworn in as Prime Minister at the Istana Negara, and I am now the third Prime Minister to be nominated during controversial 14 Malaysian Parliament, which has seen the biggest Prime Minister change hands in a single term. Next, let me tell you about what I have been doing during my time as a Prime Minister. First thing first, I want to explain a little bit about our government branch, which is executive. Executive is the government's second and most powerful branch. In the executive branch of government, a Prime Minister is the head of cabinet and the leader of ministers. it is the organ in charge of carrying out the legislature's laws as well as the government's policies. The government's executive branch is made up of the Prime Minister, works as the government's leader, followed by the cabinet several ministers. So, what is my role as Prime Minister? The Yang di-Pertuan Agong appoints me as the head of government YDPA. The YDPA has complete discretion in appointing me, although he may only appoint as Prime Minister a member of the Dewan Rakyat, who in his opinion is likely to command the trust of the majority of Dewan Rakyat members. Assuming that my functions are as head of state, being an advisor to the YDPA and escort to the YDPA, head of the cabinet, and planning and coordinating government policy. With the current situation, I, as Prime Minister, facing with three major difficulties that must be faced, the most serious of which is the COVID-19 pandemic as well as political stability. The first difficulty is to disassociate the coalition governments of Barisan Nasional BIN, Perikatan Nasional BIN, and Gabungan Parti Sarawak GPS from the level of failed government. The government's response to the COVID-19 outbreak that is currently ravaging the country is the second obstacle. The people's problem is not fear, despite the fact that there are 20,000 cases of infection every day. However, there's the issue of losing jobs and household income in order to sustain the family and pay off various obligations, as well as the drop-off of children from home-based learning. The economy must be reopened as soon as possible, following strict standard operating procedures (SOPs), so that people may return to work and earn a living. The third issue is to keep the coalition government stable, and the Prime Minister cannot repeat the mistakes of prior administrations, particularly in terms of appointments and policy formulation. Last but not least, some advantages for me become the member of the Executive Prime Minister. All members of Parliament in the State Assembly are granted immunity and the right to debate an issue without fear of being prosecuted if the Yang di-Pertuan Agong of the lower chamber allows them to do so. This immunity, however, is only valid during a lower house conference and cannot be used outside of it. Thank you for listening.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. My name is NAWFAL bin ZULKARNAEN. I am once a Chief Judge of Malaya at the year of 2012 until 2017. I was born on 27 April 1956. So now I am at the age of 66 years old. I was born in a capital state of Johor, which is Johor Bahru. I have graduated from the University of Malaya with a Bachelor of Laws in 1980, and I further my studies to the London School of Economics and obtained a Master of Law in 1987. My career started as a Judicial Commissioner in a Kuala Lumpur High Court in 2006, High Court Judge of Kuala Lumpur in 2009, High Court Judge of Shah Alam Selangor in 2010, Judge of the Court of Appeal in Putrajaya at 2013, Federal Court Judge of Putrajaya in 2011, and last but not least, I was appointed Chief Judge of Malaya in 2012. Okay, now I want to share about my role and function. When I was a Chief Judge of Malaya, I am the head of Malaysian judges. I am not only involved in the appointment and dismissal of judges, but I am also in charge of decisions like the appointment of commissioners for oaths, the appointment of members to Judicial and Legal Service Commission, even choosing substitute judges to the Federal Court if not enough judges are available. I also play an effective role in protecting and defending the Constitution and dispensing justice in accordance with law. Okay, for your information, all judges, including the Chief Judge, are appointed by Yang di-Pertuan Agong and can be only removed by Yang di-Pertuan Agong. And I was appointed by a former Yang di-Pertuan Agong, which is Sultan Abdul Halim from Kedah. Okay, next I want to share about the challenges that I went through. Okay, the challenges I went through when I was the Chief Judge of Malaya is to maintain the confidence of the people and manage the general negative perception of the body. It is because despite the fact that the judiciary performs its role well and with integrity, negative perceptions will still arise. Okay, for the next challenge is to maintain a good mental health, as there are some in the public who accuse me of being unfair in handing down a sentence. Okay, last but not least, I want to share to you guys about the benefits of being a Chief Judge of Malaya. Okay, the benefit is for me, it is the salary paid is commensurate with the duties incurred. Okay, the second one is being a member of the judiciary also can gain fame and respect from the public by contributing to the country professionally and honestly. Okay, that is all from me. Thank you for listening. Assalamualaikum and bye-bye.